Hello, it's nice to meet everyone. My name is Jeff Cora, and this is my introduction video for Gimcheon University. Let me start off by telling you what I'm going to talk about. First, I want to tell you a little bit about myself, about where I'm coming from, and what my goals are. Next, I want to talk about my teaching style and what my teaching philosophies are. Then, I'd like to discuss why I feel that I would be a good fit for Gimcheon University. And finally, I want to end it with a video of me teaching an adult class. Alright, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in the United States in the Chicagoland area. Growing up, I wanted to be an actor. So I went to school and got my acting degree from Illinois State University. Well, it turns out I don't deal with rejection quite so well. And after some time, I was just waiting tables and I didn't know what I wanted to do in life. So I decided I wanted a new adventure. And I found South Korea. And even though I didn't know anybody here, and I knew very little about South Korea, I decided to sign up for a year. It was by far the best decision I've ever made in my life. After I finished my first year, I decided to move on to a different school, where I ended up teaching acting. I was teaching English lessons through acting to Korean students. And this was a wonderful experience. I taught everyone from elementary school students up to adults. My favorite was teaching the adults. One student in particular I can remember, she had a limited grasp of English and she had no acting experience whatsoever. But after 6 months she was accepted into an American acting school. I'm very proud of that. Unfortunately, after 2.5 years, that school didn't get quite enough business, so they ended up closing down. Where I ended up going to another Hagwon to work, which was I met yet again wonderful students and had a great time. But right around the end of 4 years, I started to get that adventure itch again. I figured, well, if Korea was such a great success, what if I went someplace else? Maybe I'd find the same success over and over again. So I found a school in Haikou, China, that was looking for a temporary teacher to tide them over till the new semester. And I thought, fantastic, Haikou is warm, nice beaches, that's where I'll go. Well, I've just finished up my 4 months here in Haikou, and I miss Korea. It's not quite that, I'm not knocking China, but it's not the same sense of family that I had in Korea. I really connect with the Korean people, and I really feel that Korea has become my home, and this is where I want to come back to. This is where I want to start my life. Alright, let me tell you a little bit about my teaching philosophy. First, let me start off by saying that Korea is excellent at preparing students to pass tests. And many Koreans have a fantastic grasp of English grammar. That being said, these same students that are so great at passing tests and have such a great knowledge of English grammar are sometimes terrified of actually speaking to a native speaker. And that's where I think I come on in. I always say to my students, you're afraid of speaking to me because you think that you're going to make a mistake and that you're going to end up looking foolish. Well, of course you're going to make mistakes. English is a very difficult language, but if you don't try, there's no possible way that you're going to get any better. As I mentioned before, I've studied acting and I've taught acting. Now, I like to use acting in my classroom a lot. Not that they're going to be doing scene study and doing monologues, but I do like to do a lot of role playing, because I think what that does is it gets students out of their heads about what is right and what is wrong, and just gets them to communicate what they want. And that's in essence what I try to teach, is just to communicate with the other person. So in my classroom, I like to have my students get up and speaking. I want them discussing. I like to have them doing role playing. I like them to have fun. That is not to say that writing won't be involved with my class, or reading won't be involved with my class, but that's going to be more of a homework thing. In my class, they have to get up and they have to speak, because if they're not speaking, they're not really learning. At home, they can do the writing and the reading, and that's when they can make their own evaluations about how their progress is going. But in my class, I really want it to be about talking to each other. I think it's really important that a teacher is flexible. Now, it's really easy to become rigid as a teacher because you spend all this time on your lesson plans, and then you bring it to class, and when the students don't get it, it's just, you're like, no, you want to hammer it into them. You know, you will learn this. But we have to remember that not every student learns the same way. Not every class learns the same way. So if it's not working, we have to change. We can't blame the student for it not working. We have to change to accommodate the students and to accommodate the class. And that brings me to why I feel that I would be a good fit for Kim Cheon University. Because I'm going to do what it takes to make sure that my students learn. If this doesn't work, I'll try something else. And if that doesn't work, I'll try another thing. Because at the end of the day, if they're not getting anything out of my class, then it's not worth it. I'm not here to just do my time and go home. I'm here to make sure that my students are actually getting something out of my class. Another reason that I feel that I'm a good fit for this university is that I'm at a point in my life where I really want to work for something. Now, the Hagwon life was fun, it was good, but it really felt temporary. They close all the time, and you know your students are temporary, and your coworkers are temporary, and even your employers are temporary. I want something more permanent. I want to work with the university, and I want to grow with the university. In the end, Korea is my life now. This is where I'm going to be. This is where I'm staying. This is where I'm building my life. And I'm choosing where I'm going to be. I really hope it's going to be with your university. Well, that's all I have to say for right now. I'm afraid that I've spoken a little bit longer than I wanted to. It was my intention to only speak for a minute or two and spend the rest of the time showing you my teaching demo. But I'm afraid right now I'm right around the 8-minute mark. So I will include my teaching demo, and hopefully you'll have a chance to look it over. I will also include another video of me teaching the younger ones. I know that doesn't apply to what we're doing here at this university, but it does show me in a much more light-hearted manner. So take a look if you get a chance. Anyway, I really want to thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it, and I hope you'll give me the chance. All right, thank you so much. Goodbye.